Good afternoon, Blazers. As students at UAB, we were curious about the new construction on campus, which will be called the Abroms-Engel Institute for the Visual Arts. Once we looked into it, what we found was very interesting. For instance, did you know that more than half of this new building was fundraised by the art department?
I'm a faculty member here. Been at UAB for 16 years, and we're going to talk about the Abroms-Engel Institute for the Visual Arts. I was, at one point, a few years ago, the Dean of the School of Arts and Humanities, and during that period, we embarked upon this fairly ambitious campaign to build an Institute for the Visual Arts. UAB has had, for a number of years, a gallery facility, but we've never had a place that was specifically designated for the visual arts, particularly the Department of Art and Art History, and of course the Visual Arts Gallery, where we're currently seated. The campaign in earnest probably started about 7-8 years ago, but we did a very good job and raised about 2/3 of the total funds required for the construction of the Institute. Well, fundraising at any institution, any agency, is a joint effort. So a number of people were involved in it. And of course, as is always the case with fundraising, you really have to develop a interest in the community. UAB is an urban university, and as a consequence, we wanted it to benefit not just our students and faculty and staff, but also the greater Birmingham community. We had to be out there actively campaigning for this particular institute. But the good thing is we have an incredible amount of support in the Birmingham community. UAB is really fortunate to be in a community that really appreciates the benefits and is willing to participate in the well-being and the continued growth of the university. So we've been, while it wasn't easy to fundraise, it certainly was not something that was such a daunting task that we felt that we couldn't achieve our goal, which we're very close to achieving. When we started planning this facility, the faculty were very much involved in the discussions that took place, and everyone, of course, wanted everything under one roof. Sculptures, ceramics, printmaking, you name it. Unfortunately, it's very difficult, almost impossible to fundraise for those kinds of facilities. So we really had to identify those disciplines that we wanted to make sure had the kind of safe environments they need to work in. This is not a large building. It's only about 27,000 gross square feet, but yet it's an important facility. The fact that it is a design or architect facility, not just the cookie cutter kind of thing that is built often on campuses. UAB has a lot of contemporary buildings, some more interesting or less interesting than others, and I think this institute will be, by all means, the most, beautifully designed and distinctive building on campus. I think that's fair to say that, and perhaps even in Birmingham. While indeed we are going to have exhibitions in the gallery, it's a teaching facility. So we have graphic design and our new media, art history will all be upstairs. There'll be offices for faculty upstairs. There'll be a student lounge area. We'll have new galleries downstairs, 3 galleries. But keep in mind that galleries are not just for exhibition purposes with no educational component in mind. Our students use the galleries. This is where we teach. This is how we experience art. And so with the expansion of more galleries, larger spaces, we're going to be able to be more ambitious in terms of the kinds of exhibitions we can curate and organize. So we'll have back-of-house facilities. The other important thing is that this building is not climate controlled, and in order to be able to borrow artworks from museums and collectors and galleries, you have to be able to ensure that you can maintain a certain environmental level. This building will be climate controlled. Back of house will be climate controlled, so we can really do a much more ambitious exhibition program than we were ever able to do here in the gallery. And it's not just for the art department, this is for the university. So I suspect that there will be classes scheduled there for, if not communication studies, perhaps some other disciplines. So it's going to be a very dynamic space. It's there, it's right on campus. It's only a block and a half from our new campus quad, so it's very accessible. It'll be an arts destination for the university and for our community people. When you want to go to the museum, you go to the Birmingham Museum downtown, and hopefully people will come here to experience the visual arts at the Institute for the Visual Arts. Well, as I said, we have done a good amount of fundraising, and certainly that has been a very important component of that. But keep in mind that buildings have to be built on certain grounds. In other words, the land costs a certain amount of money. Buildings have to be maintained, and as a consequence, that'll be a responsibility that UAB will take on. Since we have not fundraised the building in its entirety, and we hope to be able to achieve that goal, we certainly think that UAB in the meantime will step up to the plate to some degree. And as a consequence, it's a real team effort. It's the community, it is the university, it's our central administration. President Garrison was very supportive of this project. And so, it's been realized because of the different entities coming together and wanting to make sure that this is going to happen, and happen in such an incredibly creative way. I mean, what's better building to have for the visual arts than one of the most distinctive buildings in the city? Since it's been such a long process, and as I said, we really started in earnest in terms of planning for this building and working with some preliminary designers probably 7, 8 years ago or more, seeing the building actually take shape. I go out there and count every I-beam that goes up and every piece of cement that's poured. And I feel a kind of ownership over the building since I've been the one who shepherded this process through so long. So that's the exciting part. And the next most exciting, of course, will be when it's fully finished and it'll be there for students and faculty and staff in the community to use.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoy our new building on campus when it opens this fall. Go Blazers!